Self-custody is one of the most important concepts in cryptocurrency, yet many people don't fully understand what it really means and how to use it safely. While self-custody offers great benefits, it also comes with important responsibilities. If used correctly, it can provide greater security and control over your assets. If used incorrectly, it can lead to serious risk and permanent loss of funds. In this video, I will explain what self-custody really means and discuss its advantages and potential pitfalls. In addition to that, I will share some best practices for self-custody based on my 8 years of experience in the crypto industry. Self-custody in crypto has two key aspects, which are ownership and responsibility. In technical terms, self-custody basically means having full control and ownership of your private keys and therefore your crypto assets. You alone hold and manage the keys. No centralized authority or other third party has access to them. This removes many of the risks associated with custodial services. A third party can freeze accounts, suspend withdrawals, impose restrictions, or even become bankrupt. When you control your keys, you can access and manage your funds at any time. No permission is needed from a third party and no dependence on a company's servers. The second aspect of self-custody is responsibility. Self-custody also implies responsibility. You should be responsible for securing your private keys and the seed phrase. You decide on which network you store your funds. Some networks are not truly decentralized and some have security breaches. You need to choose the best one. You also need to follow self-custody best practices to avoid common scams and losses. This is the most important aspect of self-custody. To explain self-custody in a single sentence, I have the following definition. In cryptocurrency, self-custody means you have full control and responsibility for managing and securing your private keys. Self-custody can be achieved either through a software wallet like Trust Wallet, MetaMask, Phantom, or through a hardware wallet like Tangem, which provides offline storage, safe NFC sign-in, hardware-based entropy for private key generation, and no server-dependent operation. This means that only hardware wallets like Tangem can provide self-custody with security. Self-custody offers greater benefits. As I mentioned earlier, self-custody provides protection against exchange bankruptcy, exchange hacks, and restrictions on withdrawals. You can access your funds at any time you want. Another interesting benefit of self-custody is that transaction fees are much cheaper than what you used to pay on exchanges. This is because there is no platform commission and hidden costs. There are only pure blockchain fees which are much cheaper. Self-custody is great but only with your responsibility, otherwise it will be the worst. This is the dangerous part of self-custody. If you don't use it correctly, there may be a permanent loss of funds. I am going to discuss some of the best practices that ensure the safe usage of self-custody. The first one is that hardware wallets provide more security features for self-custody than software wallets. Don't hesitate to buy a hardware wallet to achieve safer self-custody. Not every hardware wallet is safe. From my experience, I can recommend the Tangem wallet. With Tangem, self-custody is simple, secure, and stress-free. No cables, no batteries, no seed phrases, and no risky firmware updates. Just a truly seedless, offline, secure hardware wallet that puts you fully in control of your crypto. The second one is that for smart contract related transactions and approvals, use a separate wallet with less funds. Do not use your main wallet, as this involves the risk of blind sign-in without knowing what you are signing. If you use a separate wallet, you will lose only a small amount of funds if something goes wrong. If you authorize any smart contract approvals from your cold wallet, that wallet no longer remains cold. A cold wallet is a hardware device that generates and stores private keys offline, signs transactions offline, and never authorizes any smart contract approvals. The third one is that if the wallet firmware is updatable, use official resources to download and update it. For non-updatable firmware, use the Tangem wallet, which is more secure than wallets with updatable firmware. The fourth one is that don't share your seed phrase with anyone or enter it on websites or take a photo or store it on a laptop or a mobile device. The seed phrase provides you with the complete backup of all private keys of your crypto assets in human-readable words. Anyone who has it can access your funds. Therefore, your seed phrase is for your eyes only. Always store it offline. By manually writing it down on a paper, avoid printing it. Do not take a digital photograph or screenshot of the seed phrase. Do not enter your seed phrase anywhere other than on the hardware wallet's screen. Do not store your seed phrase on a laptop or a mobile device. Tangem wallets provide greater protection against these kind of threats associated with the seed phrase, as they do not have a seed phrase backup. In this case, you should have at least 3 backups and store them in 3 different places. The last one is that to avoid address poisoning scams, don't copy the deposit address from the recent transaction history tab. Always copy it from the source. This is what self-custody means to me. Thanks for watching the video.